Obviously, you've got varying degrees of intelligence within the academic route and outside, but it's a different form of intelligence with regards to those creative topics that fall outside of that academic straight path. Different types of intelligence and different forms of intelligence, right? There's not just the, maths, English, and science. There's lots of things, a whole spectrum of things. And to be able to specialize in any one of those takes different types and different forms of intelligence. Okay, so just because you studied in something that is outside of that main academic path, it does not mean that you are not intelligent. It's just that you have a different type of intelligence, right? And you utilize and see things and ingest information and express information in a different type of way. Okay? Now, unfortunately, some of those ways are seen as unintelligent by mainstream society. However, that perspective, in my opinion, is ignorant and unintelligent because they don't acknowledge that there are different types of intelligence that fall outside of academia. So that is a gripe that I have. And not like a real gripe, but I understand it for what it is, but it's stupid in my opinion, right? And it just is. Case in point, if let's say creative topics didn't involve intelligence and skill, etc., then anyone could do them. Intelligent people within the mainstream route of academia and genuinely intelligent people within the mainstream route of academia that accept all forms of intelligence would be able to step outside of that mainstream and be as effective as anyone else in those criteria if they were as intelligent in those different ways. This is why you shouldn't, one, look down on yourself or feel that you have nothing of value to offer people or any skill or just value in and of itself just because you fall outside of that mainstream path of academia. You are still intelligent. You do have skills that are valuable. It's just they are valuable in different ways. They are intelligent in different ways. You express in different ways and you ingest in different ways. And that's not what's taught widely across the world, I think every society is kind of the same in that. They just kind of see these as, just throwaways almost. Now I'm going to tell you something very interesting that I've always took to heart and mind and soul because it really does resonate with me and really does make sense. The people of old, stupidly intelligent, and I know that's kind of like an oxymoron there that I threw out. They used to class engineers, artists, architects and creatives all under one brush. You would be called an engineer or an artist if you did any of these sort of creative things with your hands. So that goes from building really intricate architecture, skilled works of Baroque styles and furniture, intricate artwork on the churches, intricate sculptures, these beautiful, amazing artistic buildings that were put together, all the way through to special artworks. And even Leonardo da Vinci, that's a great example. He built a lot of different, very innovative stuff, as well as being an artist. There was no separation and divide like there is today. They were all seen as engineers. Focus into the arts and you could incorporate science, both beneficial in terms of creativity and imagination. And then you come up with a cultivation of amazing, not only artwork, but architecture and inventions and all kinds of different things. What I really respect is their respect for crafts that are outside of mainstream academia. They look at it holistically as well as individually, but holistically, and they're like, this has a place amongst our society and this is to be respected, but not just respected. We are going to utilize it while we build our society, while we create these new things, while we make these new inventions. So it really had a place. It wasn't like today where it's like we've got the mainstream academia and everything else falls outside of that. No, it was incorporated in the mainstream and they utilized it effectively too. You can go to Spain, Italy, to America, Africa, China, and you can see it, right? They used those skills to the max in society. Today, much less, and again, there's a lot of separation, divide, and I don't know where this is coming from, but there's this division. You've got the mainstream academics, the other stuff sort of falls outside of that. It's like, oh, you're learning that thing. Yes, good luck with that. It's dumb-ish. Waste of time, childlike. It's not very intelligent, it's not worth it. That's how it's looked upon today. Still a lot of use case in auto engineering, digital now, artisan use in that, how much longer that is going to last with the uprising of AI. But I mean, yo, in future, there's going to be lots of robotic designs. There's going to be even more vehicle design, even more architectural design, clothing designs, bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger use case for creativity and real world application. However, I'm not sure the respect will follow. Obviously, the respect is there in those industries individually. Don't see it in schools and colleges and universities, those very first academic institutions. I'm not really seeing much of that respect there. I'm not talking about on an individual basis. Like, you may speak to someone in those institutions and they get it, or they have that appreciation for it, which is awesome. I really, really love that. However, I'm talking about the institutions themselves. Like, there's terms like artsy fartsy in those industries still. Well, wow, you know? So we'll see how it goes. And then in the music industry, massively revered back in the day. I can't say it's any different today. Rock stars, pop stars, hugely revered. Don't know to what degree they're respected. That's on a sort of case by case via their music. But in terms of musicians, creatives in that sense, have a lot of respect. People being put down for maybe the type of music that they make. I don't think that's because they're not respected. I think it's because of people's individualistic tastes on certain types of music. For example, I feel that a lot of people will be very respectful of classical music and orchestral music just because of the skill and dedication it takes to learn, you know, those acoustic or electric instruments, right? And actually learn the skill of playing an instrument versus someone that digitally creates a beat in 10 seconds flat or maybe raps to it. A lot of people don't like rap. They won't be feeling any type of way about that music, hold any high regard or respect for it because they'll just see rap as crap, right? Simple as that, okay? But then there'll be some people that appreciate that poetry and the way that individual puts their words together and the lingo together and the music together and times things and switches things up. They'll appreciate those nuances, right? Or they'll really vibe with the beat, or maybe it works really well with the club, you know what I'm saying? So I think the whole music side is very individualistic in terms of the amount of respect that is given, okay? So it's very interesting. I just thought I'd talk about this and just basically say that if you are doing those things and you feel that you aren't respected or aren't seen as intelligent for doing those things, and I'm not even just talking about like creativity and art, I'm talking about anything that falls outside of, again, the academic mainstream. Don't feel that way. You are intelligent, but you are intelligent in a different way, in a different form, okay? There are different types of intelligence, despite what people may tell you, what people may lean towards and push on you in academia. It's not true that there's only one form of intelligence. That is very ignorant to say, okay? So, don't look down on yourself. Build yourself up, because chances are, if you are good at those things, you are very intelligent, just in a different way, okay? Cool. Just wanted to say that because, yeah, a lot of people sort of don't see themselves as intelligent, and they freaking are. They are really freaking intelligent. They just don't know it because they don't understand that there are many different forms and types of intelligence that fall outside of the mainstream. And they've bought into that whole narrative that if you don't fit into that mainstream path, then you aren't intelligent. But that's a fat lie, okay? It's just not true. Okay, guys, cool. That completes the video. Let me know what your thoughts are down in the comment section below. Would love to hear your thoughts on what I've basically talked about and discussed in this video. Let me know your thoughts as per usual. Got any questions? Throw them in the comments, or topics that you want me to talk about. Throw them in the comments too. Really appreciate you guys. Love you all. Have an amazing day and keep leveling up, fam. See you for the next video.